Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the online class. In previous class, we people completed about rises of Buddhism and Jainism. Yes. So today in this session, let us move for the Mauryas and Kushanas. Okay. In this lesson, you people are going to learn about Mauryas, but Kushanas here, reason of the COVID-19, government has reduced your portion. However, you people come know these all the things. So among Mauryas and Kushanas, Mauryas we people will learn, but Kushanas we people are not going to learn. Okay, that one is a reduced content here. Okay, let us move without wasting any kind of time. In this lesson or in this chapter, you learn the first ever empire of India was Mauryan Empire. The Empire Ashoka's achievements, administrations, and contribution to art and architecture. Okay, architecture. The history of Kushana's administration and contributions of Kanishka that you are not going to learn. Yes, only about Mauryan Empire you will learn, and the famous empire in Mauryan dynasty is none other than Ashoka. About him and his achievements and his administration and the contribution to art and architecture that you will learn. Okay. Now, then afterwards, locating the region of Ashoka's empire on the India map. That also you are going to learn here. Yes, but in this session, I mentioned 4 important points what you people are going to learn. But among those 4 points, today in this session, we people are going to learn only 2 parts. Okay, point 1 and point 2. See here. India's first empire was Mauryan Empire. India's first empire was Mauryan Empire. They ruled from Magadha. They started to rule from Magadha. Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara, and Ashoka are the important kings or ruler of this dynasty. Yes, Chandragupta Maurya established the dynasty of Maurya dynasty, and his son is Bindusara, and Bindusara's son is Ashoka. Yes, see, Ashoka was the son of Bindusara, and Bindusara was the son of Chandragupta Maurya. Okay. This dynasty was established by Chandragupta Maurya. The name of Chandragupta Maurya was made eternal by recording it by Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador, the Greek ambassador in his book Indica. Okay, the Greek ambassador he mentioned in his book Indica was the book of Megasthenes. Okay, so Megasthenes was the Greek ambassador, and in his recorded book he mentioned how the Chandragupta Maurya was named and how he ruled the entire dynasty of Maurya. Yes, here some of the books I will mention. Okay, on the desktop. Thou the source or these what all the things you people are able to see on the desktop of your screen. Thou those all are the source materials are less. Okay, though the source materials are very less, the available sources provide valuable information on Mauryas. Okay, we people are having very less materials, or we can also say that source materials to know or to learn about Maurya dynasty, but what all the sources at present available, those all available sources provide value information on Mauryas. Now comes reference sources. Yes, Megasthenes Indica. Megasthenes was in India as the ambassador of Greeks in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Megasthenes was the ambassador of the India, and he related to the Greek country, and in the Greeks in the and he was in the courtyard of Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, next, Megasthenes wrote Indica book. Okay, in that book, very he introduced the part of Ashoka, or we can say even the part of Chandragupta Maurya. He was recorded his experiences at Pataliputra, the capital of Maurya, empire in his book Indica. Okay, Pataliputra was the capital of Maurya. In his recorded book, what all experiences he got from Pataliputra, those all the experiences he wrote in his book Indica. Though the original book has remained untraced, later Greek writers like Arrian, Strabo, Diodorus, and Pliny refer to it in their works. Indica reveals the city administration, social, and religious life of Maurya period. Kautilya's Arthashastra. Okay, see, let me give little bit of introduction of Kautilya. Okay, Kautilya was the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya dynasty, and this Kautilya is his origin. This Kautilya's original name was his Vishnugupta. Kautilya's original name was Vishnugupta, and this Vishnugupta was also known as Kautilya and also Chanakya. Okay, most of the people we know about him as the name of Chanakya and Kautilya, but his original name was Vishnugupta. Yes, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra, and in this Arthashastra, he wrote by the teacher. Sorry, let me tell it once again. Arthashastra is written by the teacher and the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya. This Arthashastra was written by teacher and the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya. He is Kautilya. He is also known as Chanakya or Vishnugupta. Yes, Arthashastra is written in Sanskrit language. It outlines the basic principles on administration, foreign affairs, and judicial duties that a king that a king ought to know. Yes, what all the kings need to know, or what how to become a king, and how the principles need to follow by the king, and how to do, or regarding administration and regarding foreign affairs, judicial duties. These all the matters were written in Sanskrit language, that also in Kautilya's Arthashastra. By reading this book means by reading Kautilya's Arthashastra book, one can understand the politics, economy, and administration, social and other aspects of Maurya period. One if once we used to read this book, or once we can understand this book, in that book we can see, or we can understand the politics, economy, and administration, social and other aspects of the Maurya. Okay. Another one reference sources are Mudra Rakshasa, and afterwards Deepavamsha and Mahavamsha. Okay. See, let me tell you about Mudra Rakshasa. Mudra Rakshasa, this is a Sanskrit play. This is the Sanskrit play. This is not a book. Okay. This is the Sanskrit play written by Vishakadatta. Mudra Rakshasa was written by Vishakadatta, and this is the Sanskrit play. It narrates the process of Chandragupta Maurya being brought into the power of Kautilya. How the Chandragupta, in this book, that entire book will explain us about Chandragupta Maurya, how he became a Chandragupta Maurya. Yes, and that Chandragupta Maurya being brought into the power by Kautilya. Next comes Deepavamsha and Mahavamsha. These two are Sri Lankan literary works. Deepavamsha and Mahavamsha, both these two works are Sri Lankan literary works. Okay, they narrate the efforts of Ashoka to spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. They means Deepavamsha and the book of Mahavamsha, both were the Sri Lankan literary works, and both were narrate the efforts of Ashoka, how he spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Next comes, you people can see the inscriptions. Okay, first one and second one. At present also we can see these Inscriptions of Ashoka. Yes, so let us discuss about inscriptions of Ashoka. Inscriptions are the authentic sources of information on Ashoka. They tell about the boundaries of Ashoka's empire, his efforts to spread the Dhamma, and details of Kalinga battle. Yes, these both inscriptions were tells us about boundaries of Ashoka empire. Yes, the boundaries of Ashoka empire, and also the efforts to spread the dharma, which we used to call as the Dhamma, Ashoka's Dhamma, and details of Kalinga battle. Chandragupta Maurya founded the Maurya Empire. Yes, Chandragupta Maurya was a founder of Maurya Empire. Yes, Chandragupta came to power by dethroning the last king of Nanda, okay, Nanda dynasty, under the guidance of his teacher. Listen carefully, under the guidance of his teacher. That teacher name is Kautilya at the age of 25. Okay, Chandragupta came to power by destroying the last king of Nanda dynasty. Okay, at that time when the Chandragupta took the power of, or when he defeated the king of Nanda dynasty, at that time the Nanda dynasty's king was Dhanananda. Okay, after the defeating of Dhanananda, who is the last king of Nanda dynasty. Okay, after the destroying of that last king of Nanda dynasty, only Chandragupta came to the power. Okay, Chandragupta came to power by dethroning the last king of Nanda dynasty under the guidance of his teacher. He is Kautilya at the age 25. Yes, Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, let us know about Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, he ruled Maurya dynasty from 321 to 298 before Common Era. Okay, by this time the northwest of India was ruled by the representative of Alexander Seleucus Nicator till Punjab. Yes, in 305 before Common Era, Chandragupta Maurya declared war against him, and the battle ended in an agreement. Yes, at the same time, this Chandragupta Maurya At the same time, this Chandragupta Maurya, let me tell some more points regarding Chandragupta Maurya. According to it, Seleucus handed over four territories that included today's Afghanistan and Balochistan to Chandragupta Maurya. According to Seleucus handed over four territories. See, now present days also we used to see the territories. Okay, these were made from before Common Era only. Okay, we can see the territories from the before Common Era. Okay, Seleucus handed over four territories that included today's Afghanistan and Balochistan to Chandragupta Maurya. Who Seleucus handed over the four territories. Okay, to whom he handed over to the Chandragupta Maurya. Yes. Moreover, he married who? Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya married his daughter to him. Okay. Seleucus gave his daughter to the Chandragupta Maurya. Okay. With this, the Magadha Empire established a rule over a vast northwestern area. Yes. Now comes, as per a Jain tradition, it is said that Chandragupta Maurya, as per the Jain tradition, okay, as per the Jain tradition, it is said that Chandragupta Maurya handed over his reign to his son Bindusara. Okay, after Chandragupta Maurya, we people are going to know about his son. He is Bindusara. Yes, Chandragupta Maurya handed over his reign to his son Bindusara after accepting Jainism in his last days. Yes, it is said that he later traveled to Shravanabedagola in Karnataka along with Jain sages Bhadrabahu and others. Who? Chandragupta Maurya. In his last days, he traveled to the Shravanabedagola in Karnataka along with Jain sages Bhadrabahu and others. Finally, the tradition says that he undertook Sallekana Vrata and passed away there itself. Yes, this is regarding Chandragupta Maurya. Now comes Empire Ashoka, or Emperor Ashoka also we can call, or Ruler Ashoka. Better to call Ruler Ashoka, we'll call him as a Emperor Ashoka. Emperor Ashoka was the son of Bindusara. He was the son of Bindusara. Yes, so he ruled Maurya dynasty from 273 to 232 before Common Era. Who? Ashoka. The most popular emperor of India is Ashoka. Yes, he was the best and one of the most popular emperor of India. Yes, he was the son of Bindusara. He was the governor of Ujjain and Takshila during his father's reign. Who? Ashoka. Okay, when he was governor of Ujjain and Takshila, at that time, the Maurya dynasty was ruled by his father Bindusara. He suppressed an unrising at Takshila. After the death of his father Bindusara, it is said that Ashoka had to kill all his 99 brothers to assume the throne as per Buddhist tradition. Okay, it is said that after the death of his father Bindusara, Ashoka had to kill all his 99 brothers to assume the throne as per Buddhist tradition. Probably there was an internal war among the brothers for about 4 years. Okay, it is assumed that he ascended throne in the year 269 before Common Era. He waged a war against Kalinga 8 years later. After assuming the throne of the Maurya dynasty, he waged a war against with Kalinga 8 years later. Yes, this was the only war waged by him after becoming a king. Okay, the war of Kalinga was the first and the last war of Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka. Yes, Ashoka declared war on the Kalingas who refused to accept the rule of Maurya Empire in 261 before Common Era. The 13th rock inscription of Ashoka provides more information on this battle. Okay, but which battle? Kalinga battle. According to it, Ashoka declared war on Kalinga 8 years after assuming the throne. This Kalinga war was the 8 years after assuming the throne of Ashoka. Yes, so Ashoka declared war on the Kalingas who refused to accept the rule of Maurya dynasty in 261 before Common Era. Yes, this matter was included in 13th rock inscription of Ashoka. Yes, in this battle 1,50,000. How much? 1,50,000 prisoners were taken. Yes, 1 lakh people died. Many more become refugees. Yes, how many people were taken prisoners as a prisoners? 1,50,000 prisoners were taken and 1 lakh people died. Many more become refugees. Yes, though Kalinga was won by Ashoka. He was disturbed by the deaths and the pain of the battle, and he decided not to wage war thereafter. Yes, he was very disappointed after, though he was won that Kalinga battle. Then also he was very disturbed by the death of the people. Yes, he considered victory of religion is better than the victory in the battlefield. He considered that victory of religion is the better than the victory of the battlefield. He went to he went into repentance on seeing the devastation created by the war. On being inspired by Buddhism, he dedicated his remaining life to spread the message of peace. He dedicated himself to the Buddhism when he inspired by the Buddhism. Okay, he considered that after seeing those all the battlefield, or after seeing those all death of the people, he decided, or he considered, that victory of religion is better than the victory of the battlefield. Okay, so he, after the battle, after disturbing by that battle, he inspired by the Buddhism, and he decided, or he dedicated himself, or he dedicated his remaining life to spread the message of peace. Yes, now comes Buddhism answer Ashoka. Yes. So what it is? Ashoka accepted Buddhism. Okay. After the Kalinga battle, when he realized about the meaning of life, he accepted Buddhism and he wanted to spread the message of peace. He made donations to Buddhist monasteries and viharas. He wanted to made donations to Buddhist monasteries and viharas. He prohibited the killing of animals and birds in his kingdom. He completely prohibited. Prohibited means completely he stopped killing the animals and birds in his kingdom. Yes. Next comes Buddhism and answer of Ashoka. Yes, Ashoka declared that all his citizens are his children. He declared that all his citizens are his children. He declared that all should be loyal to their parents and respect their elders and gurus. He wanted people to show compassion to poor and slaves too, not only to the poor, even to the slaves. Okay, live and let live, he said. Baduki badukalubadi. Yes, this was the his compassion. Yes, Ashoka declared all citizens are his children, and he declared that all should be loyal to their parents and respect their elders and gurus. Hmm? Then comes, he appointed officers named Dharma Mahamattas. He appointed officers named Dharma Mahamatra to preach the principles of Buddhism. Okay, he installed inscriptions all across the kingdom to preach the message of Buddhism. Preachers were sent to other countries as well. A person named Rakshita was sent to Banavasi, and other person by name Mahadeva was sent to Mahisha Mandala. Mahisha Mandala means Mysore in our Karnataka. Yes. He also sent his son Rahula and daughter Sangamitre to Sri Lanka to spread the messages of the Buddhism. Yes, in 250 before Common Era, he organized the third Buddhist conference at Pataliputra. Who? Ashoka. Yes, in 250 before Common Era, he organized the third Buddhist conference in his courtyard, okay, at Pataliputra. Ashoka is called as the father of inscriptions. Yes, Ashoka is called as the father of inscriptions. Till today, his inscriptions are the first inscriptions to be read. Okay, we can read Ashoka's inscriptions very easily. Okay, because the language which he used to write on the inscription, that language was very easily, those letters we can identify easily and we can read that inscription. Yes, in 1837 Common Era, a British officer, James Prinsep, deciphered James Prinsep deciphered Ashoka's inscriptions for the first time. In all the inscriptions, instead of his title, Devanampriya or Priyadarshini were used. Okay, uh, in inscription, instead of his name means instead of using Ashoka name. Okay, instead of using name of Ashoka, there were mentioned his titles. Okay, there were mentioned his titles. There were two titles. First one is Devanampriya and second one is Priyadarshini. These were the two titles of the Ashoka. Okay, now comes Ashoka's inscriptions. Yes, Charles Charles Biddon, a British engineer, read an inscription. He read an inscription at Musky of Raichuru in 1900 before Common Era. Sorry, just Common Era. Yes, this Musky inscription we can still also we can see this inscription in Raichuru, which were preserved in Museum of Karnataka. Yes. In this inscription, which one? In Musky inscription, where we got this inscription in Raichur. In this Musky of Raichur inscription, Devanampriya, Priyadarshini, Ashoka, where reference appears for the first time. Okay, this Musky inscription, we can get from Raichur in 1915 Common Era. Yes, in this inscription, this Musky inscription, we can see the original name of Ashoka. Yes, so here we can see or we can read very easily his name, Devanampriya Priyadarshini Ashoka. Okay, here for the first time we can see the direct name of Ashoka. Yes, next. Based on this, it was decided that Devanampriya and Priyadarshini are the same. Yes, it was decided that Devanampriya and Priyadarshini both were the same. Okay, for that reason in Musky they were mentioned Devanampriya, Priyadarshini, Ashoka. Yes, later in other inscription the name Ashoka appears. Okay, for the first time the name of Ashoka we can see afterwards, which all are we used to get after the getting of Musky. Later on, what all the inscriptions we used to see in those inscriptions, we can see directly the name of Ashoka. But earlier, what Devanampriya and Priyadarshini, in those earlier what all we got the inscriptions regarding Ashoka, there we cannot see a direct name of Ashoka. Instead of Ashoka, we used to see Devanampriya and Priyadarshini, which were the titles of Ashoka. Okay, but for the first time in Musky inscription we can see the direct name of Ashoka, as that also Devanampriya, Priyadarshini, Ashoka. But here Devanampriya and Priyadarshini both were gives a meaning same. Okay, so up to here you people comes to know, and you I know you everybody knows about the Maurya dynasty, but in the next session we will go for the economic system during Mauryan period, social system and administrative system, and also art and architecture of Maurya dynasty. Okay, so until then, take care of yourself. Okay, and even your family. Along with that, do your homework properly. And now onwards, we are going to maintain the record of your homework. If you people are unable to watch this video, yes, either If you people are not ready to watch this video, we'll definitely call you and ask you why you people were not watching this video. Either we can call anytime. Yes, if you are not following the instruction of the subject teacher or either your class teacher, definitely we'll call you and we will ask the reason that why you people are not ready to watch the video. Either you people are not doing homework. Okay, both we will ask. Okay, so here onwards, don't forget to watch the video and in within a time complete your homework, assignment work and send it to the related teacher. Okay, I hope you will definitely follow this one. Okay, don't skip anywhere when you people are ready to watch the video. Yes, so until then, take care of yourself.